In 6 years' time, you will suddenly understand that going to the garden centre is not something that you think, oh, this is what old people do, because you will be old.
Well, correct.
And there's something, I don't know whether psychologically that happens, that I think it's because you know that your time, the time is running out on you. You have less time. So planting stuff and seeing it grow, and the seasons and things dying and regenerating, all of that stuff somehow, and you have more time for it as well, you will be able to afford enough space, and then you think, well, I've got to fill it, and you have more time to do it. So it's all of those things.
We've got a nice gardening centre near us, the Palm House.
Yeah.
It's a lovely gardening centre.
I've spent a huge amount of money in the Palm House.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
They've got like a whole sort of tropical tree section around the corner that I only just discovered. It's lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, I like going to gardening centres. I'm just not into the planting bit yet.
It's, it happens. I had very little interest when I was your age, very young, but it does happen as you get older. And everybody in garden centres is silver surfers, as you'll notice. Like going to the theatre, everybody's old. Take your teeth out, put your wigs on, and get out.
No, I'm really looking forward to that era of my life and enjoying that. I know it's coming. It's so close. I can smell it.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
I think sort of going back to the earth, because you know that's where you're
right. That's quite
for.
Bleak.
I find that reassuring. I don't find it bleak.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. My dad was, absolutely right from the get-go said, ever since I was 4 or 5 years old, he said, heaven and earth are human concepts and nobody's come back from the dead. And I said, but Jesus had, and he said, no, people say that he did, but do you know when the Bible was written? I said, well, yes, in the ancient times. And he said, well, it was written 300 years after Jesus had died. So if you try and remember what you discussed with Fearne on that Monday in 2025 and what she was wearing, in a week's time you will have a different idea than what she had about what you talked about. So if it's 300 years later, chances are it's not going to be entirely accurate.
No, agreed.
Yeah.
But you don't find that thought bleak?
No, I find it reassuring that this is it. You only have one chance.
Yeah.
You believe in reincarnation, I know.
I don't know. I'm sort of open to all sorts. My mum is big on the reincarnation thing. She loves talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think actually when you lose people, you do have that stark moment of, wow, this is quick. Life is fragile.
Yes.
I've lost a couple of people this year, and it's awful and terrifying, but I think it is motivating to live in the now and to embrace every good thing in your life, but also to not be so terrified of the bad bits. It's kind of, it is such a cliche, but I think that happens.
Yeah, absolutely true. I agree with you 5,000%.
Yeah. And I loved your Instagram video. I think it was back in maybe April, May.
Yeah.
Where, again, you were incredibly honest about grief. And you'd been out for dinner with friends and you came home and grief just hit you. And it is, of course, undulating. It's not a linear ascent to feeling better. How do you deal with those moments when they arrive?
Well, I think that I'd been out for dinner with people that I really got on with, and they were all coupled up. And I was the only solo there. And I was driving home, and it's a steering wheel stuff, when I instinctively want to turn to my left and speak to my wife and say, this is what, and Fearne asked me that, and she was wearing that, and this is what she smelled like, and she had those sparkly shoes on. All of that stuff that you want to download, which I love doing, there's silence. And you can, I write. I'm in the habit now of writing with no expectation of an answer, so I'm not, wibbly-wobbly about that. But I find that writing to my late wife keeps the conversation going. But because I wasn't, sitting able to write that down, I was in the car just with the radio on, and it's not being able to share that with that person. And that I found, I was suddenly sort of walloped by it. And anybody who's been through grief, that it's sort of a passing phase, that you have to hit the wall with it, and then the next day you'll be fine again, or maybe in 2 days' time you'll be fine. So, you get habituated to it.
Yeah, of course. And then
Because you have to.
You have to, of course. And then I guess even like the bits where you're not feeling completely bombarded by grief, that's complicated too, because is there sometimes guilt that you're not grief-stricken in moments where you're actually feeling happy or okay?
Well, my late wife gave me the guide for that, because she said to our daughter and I, 4 days before she died, try and find a pocket full of happiness in each day. And that, in that little phrase, I realized, absolves you from guilt in feeling joy and delight in things. Because if you're finding those, if she gave the instruction, do this, it would be rude not to. So I think that has been an incredible mantra to really live by.
Yeah.
And I try and do that every day.
Yeah, it's such a good one. Whether you're in grief or not, like we have to find these little moments, and they could be so tiny that no one else can see them.
Yeah.
Just something nice when you're out walking.
Well, that brings you back to the gardening question that you asked me earlier.
Yeah.
That, when you're younger, and I still feel 19, that is the problem.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, as you look in the mirror and you go, oh, there's the old grunt looking back at me, bored, long a tooth, is that I've lost this train of thought now, that it's not thinking that, you've got to win an Oscar or win the lottery or have these big things that are going to happen. It's being sort of cognizant or mindful, whatever you call it, of the stuff that is around you and what you can get delight out of.
Yes.
And that's where gardening comes in, that you can find that you can get completely, like listening to somebody's new album. You go down the rabbit hole of getting distracted by something, and gardening forces you and allows you to do that.
Yeah, I had that with painting.
Yeah,
painting
well, there
gives
you
me
go.
That. That's my gardening. I
That's
completely have that. I'm in the moment. Nothing else exists.
Yeah.
It's just, and I so
It's like
agree
sex.
with you. Huh?
It's like sex.
Yeah. There's just no time.
Yeah.
Time doesn't exist.
Exactly.
It's the best. And I completely get that, because I think, I'm in my 40s, but I've already definitely landed on that notion
You look
of
amazing.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you, Richard.
Whether it's fish sperm, salmon's fish sperm that you've had injected
it's
subcutaneously.
I keep hearing about salmon sperm you're meant
Salmon
to put under
sperm.
I've not had it. I'd
Is that
love
what
to
the
try
Kardashian
it.
ladies had done?
Apparently this is what you do. It's salmon
Looks
sperm
transformed.
under the eyes. I've not done it.
Yeah.
I need to. I want to try.
Yeah, I think you should.
I mean, we'll have to go and
Will
find
you
a
be the guinea
professional.
pig and then let me know? Just
Fine.
shout down the hill to where I live.
I also don't eat fish, so I feel like that's a bit of a loophole.
It's a problem if you're a vegan, and I know you are.
But anything to look better. So we'll see. I might find a loophole for that one. But I've definitely landed on that notion of...
You'll forsake your principles for
eye
vanity.
bags. Yes, correct. Absolutely. I will. If someone says to me, what are your work goals, or what are your life dreams if you were to write them down? It used to be...
Yeah.
Be the biggest presenter, blah, blah. It's definitely not that anymore, because
That's because
I know...
you are.
But it doesn't give you anything. I like being in the moment, having a chat and enjoying I had a good day at work. But getting an award or being told you're great, I know it won't touch the sides. I know it won't. I know that's not where I'm going to get happiness. It's just not.
Yeah, but I wouldn't discredit those things entirely, because
Not discredit
if
them,
nobody
I'm
was
just
giving
not
you an
pinning-
award or saying, you did good, you look good, everybody needs approbation or, confirmation in some way, don't you think?